let's talk specifically about how to master self-confidence and also talk about how to impart confidence in a child and teach them how to master their own self-confidence. There have been several research studies done where uh, large companies, executives, leaders of all types, military and others, where the questions have been asked, what are the most valuable traits that you're looking for? And inevitably, we get same answers across the board in varying degrees. There are people who are good communicators, people who have great self-confidence, people with great leadership skills, people with great lateral thinking, being able to think outside the box, that kind of thing. Well, virtually all of that revolves around self-confidence. So how do we bridge the gap for someone that doesn't appear or doesn't have self-confidence and turn them into someone who does have a lot of self-confidence? Well, there's a simple 4-step model that we've isolated. I've been teaching martial arts for 35 years, and I have seen how to take different aspects of training and mold them together so that anybody can become a self-confident person. I've also taken the time to interview human performance experts, read the literature, and watch the videos on from human performance psychologists, sports performance psychologists, plus interviewed dozens of people who are in the top 1% in the world specifically about self-confidence. And beyond the shadow of a doubt, there's come to be 4 pieces that pop up in virtually everybody when they talk about their level of self-confidence, how they achieved it, how they maintain it, and how they've gone on to be the top 1%. So this is true whether it is Olympic athletes, special forces, astronauts, business leaders, survival experts, doesn't matter. I found the same 4 things in all of these people. Plus, sports performance, human performance experts also have seen these same things. So let's talk about these 4 things that you can use for yourself or your child. First one is the use of self-talk to bolster your actions and how to help program your own mind. There is no voice that your mind will hear and respond to better than the sound of your own voice, right? And so whatever we are putting into our mind, we are beginning to create neural pathways. We're beginning to create belief. Uh, we are beginning to create that positive, powerful self-talk. So whether you use focus anchors, mantras, positive quotes, meditation, or all of these things and others, they're the foundational building block to creating self-confidence. And so the idea then becomes using self-talk as the primary foundation piece to creating self-confidence. And many times we simply need to analyze what people are already saying because we're already having internal and external conversations. We need to analyze those conversations and look to determine what our level of self-talk is and what the subject matter revolves around. Is it positive or is it negative? And then begin training ourselves how to make sure that that talk is positive. Now, the second part to mastering self-confidence is to actually determine what's possible. And there's a lot of platitudes where people actually say, well, anything's possible if you put your mind to it. Well, that is essentially true. However, it's very improbable that most people actually believe that at their core, because many times they simply don't do the research to achieve what it is they want to achieve and find out if anybody else has done it before, if it's possible, if it's been proven in science, whatever the case may be. Climbing the mountain, playing an instrument, performing a seemingly impossible trick on a motorcycle. It doesn't really matter. The step that we got to take is to determine what's possible. And too many times the mind's taking the path of least resistance and is actually just going, No, we can't do that. It's going to be too much work. That's going to be too hard. Nobody's done it before. When we can't validate these things because we haven't done the research, we haven't looked into what actually is possible for the thing that we want to do. So, showing people step number 2, how to determine what's possible, is a very, very valuable skill and is part 2 of the learning, the self-confidence model. Now, step 3, once we've determined what's possible, we've got the self-talk going, we have to outline the exact steps we have direct control over. See, once we've decided what's possible, then the secret's to break down tasks, objectives, into the smallest possible bites and chunks that make sense. Like Einstein said, make things as simple as possible, but no simpler. So whether it's shooting a basketball or climbing that mountain or breaking a brick with your hand like a martial artist, doing that impossible trick on a motorcycle, it doesn't really matter as long as we break it down into its smallest rational chunks. That's the third key. And again, this fits into research done on flow states by groups like the Flow Genome Project, Csikszentmihalyi, Csikszentmihalyi, people like that who have been breaking down flow states and looking at these things, right? And so this is not new. This has been researched for decades. However, again, I want to emphasize the mind is consistently looking to take the path of least resistance. We are able to process and do so many things because of our mind's incredible power to create shortcuts, to extrapolate information quickly and be able to process it. However, when something's difficult, it takes more time. We can't depend on our mind to create a shortcut. We actually have to train our mind to break down the steps. And that's something that doesn't necessarily come naturally, but we have to learn how to do. Now, here's step 4. Mindfully execute the steps we have direct control over until they're internalized and until they're naturalized. Now, what does internalized means? You don't have to think about the little details of something you do. It's just something that you do. And what does naturalized or reflexive mean? It's the instinct that you do when something comes up, right? Any given situation. It's so natural to you, that's really the only thing that you know. So we've broken the task down into bite-sized small chunks. We put the chunks into bigger chunks, and then we practice these things repetitively over and over ad nauseum, sometimes it might feel, until they become whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. So think about the things in your life or in the life of your child that you can help yourself or them with, whether it's homework, whether it's speaking in public, whether it's learning how to defend themselves, whether it's that climbing that mountain, or whether it's doing that trick on the motorcycle. Break down the 4 steps. Use positive self-talk. Go ahead and determine exactly what's possible. Outline the exact steps in detail of what you have control over, and then mindfully execute the steps you have direct control over until they're internalized and naturalized, and you just simply don't do anything else. Watch how this helps children who have test anxiety. Watch how this helps yourself with your public speaking. Watch how this helps yourself with anything that you have difficulty with. It will be absolutely mind-blowing to you how you will be able to correct these things in yourself, become a more self-confident person, and share this gift with others. If you'd like to learn more about this, check out my podcast at Operation Limitless. Go to Facebook. You can check it out. Go on all the major podcast networks and hear the interviews from the experts that we've talked with that are all in the 1% in the world of what they do. All right? Until next time, have a limitless day. Thank you for listening to this training on how to create incredible self-confidence in yourself or in your child. If you'd like more information about this topic, and if you'd like to hear our interviews with our guest experts who are the top 1% in the world at what they do, then go to any of the major podcast distribution services, SoundCloud, Apple, anything like that, you can go to iTunes, find them on there. And also, you can go to our website, operationlimitlessproject.com, which talks about our upcoming events. And you can go on Facebook to Operation Limitless and find all of our interviews also on our Facebook pages, along with other inspirational quotes and things that you can do to help improve your self-confidence or the confidence of your child. Until next time, have a limitless day.